and Strength Finders. We were doing that weekly, and then that just kind of got to be a lot. So I talked with several people this week, and they were like, "We miss Coach Rhonda." And so tomorrow night, Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, is when we're going to do another meeting. So this is what she has requested. She does something called Put You on the Hot Seat, and that's where she works with you one on one to determine how you can be more effective, how you can be more efficient, all of the things, how you can become unstuck. So she's asked for two things. If you want to be kind of the person, and this is a really great opportunity, you guys. People pay tons of money for coaching like this, and she's just donation basis. She wants you to send, Steph, can they send this to you? Their what their
Yeah.
issues are, and they
Yes,
want
ma'am.
she wants you to send a copy or write down your top 10 strengths. She wants to go ahead and be aware of what those are. So if nobody sends them in, there's no purpose to have a meeting. Okay, so if anybody wants some coaching, send in what you want to be coached on and your top 10 strengths and be at that meeting. It'll be the same Zoom link as this. It's always on my Zoom link, and which is always this exact Zoom link that you guys got. And yes, I'll make a link for you and we'll send it out. But yeah, if anybody that's taken the Strength Finders test, like show up for this. I'm telling you, it has totally transformed my marriage working with this lady. A lot in my business and definitely a lot in my personal life. So it's super cool.
And here's another piece. I'm going to meet with Coach Rhonda today. We're going through a health situation. So, to better support my husband, who did take the Strength Finders, because talking about marriage, marriage is a relationship. We're in a relationship business, right? But we had a session with Coach Rhonda just to strengthen our marriage as well. So, Pete took the test, I took the test. So, we had that good stuff. Now, as we're navigating this, my personality and beliefs and strengths are a little different. So, to better enter his world and support him while honoring who I am and working with what I have, I got to adapt a little. So, today she's going to talk to me, put our stuff side by side, and give me some vocabulary, some strategies, some tools so that I can be more productive and effective on this journey. All of that same anatomy is similar to this business to be productive on what we do here at Partner Co. When we interact with brand partners, when we interact with customers, it's brilliant to at least be self-aware and then know how to navigate other people's strengths. It's a game changer, it really is.
Steph, what are your top five?
Well, I know my top one's learner. And
Okay.
then we've got positivity, well, strategy second, then positivity, maximizer, and I don't even remember the fifth
So
one.
that just means Steph's gonna go try to find the best doctors, good, better, best. She wants nothing but the best. Now that she's a learner, she's gonna need to dig into every aspect of every part of this condition that's going on with Pete, this issue. And that can become a little overwhelming for the other person, right? Because he might not need to know all the information. Rhonda will see based on his strength. If he's a learner as well, hey, they're gonna learn together. And then the strategic, she's already wanting to map out right exactly what's going to happen from start to bottom. And so it's just super cool, you guys, to realize, and good for you, staff. Look at you reaching out for them tools, Carol. I love you so much. And everybody, prayers for Sweet Pete. He's an amazing, amazing human being. We love him to pieces.
And what time was that again, please?
Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific because we wanted to get the Pacific people because you guys can't ever make it to that Tuesday meeting. So this meeting is for you West Coast people as well.
And you're going to post that link where, Miss Susan?
So I'll put it in the team Telegram chat and
Okay.
let me create that now and I'll put it on Team Unstoppable as well.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and share the screen. We just have about 5 slides, but I think this is some great content in terms of we're always saying back to basics, right? Back to basics. So this is just about the nuts and bolts of time blocking, okay? It provides a strategy, a system, right? We're all about the system of growth, but a system for you to protect your time so that you get these basic tasks done that are going to help success. We already know these things are successful. So here's a suggestion of the 5 slides, simple weekly rhythm. When are you doing your customer outreaches, starting fresh conversations? when you're doing your online invites, three-way invites, follow up, and then new BP support is key. So as we bring people into the community, they don't feel like they're drinking from a hot fire hose. We can help chunk them down and help them be successful. So key to time block. So here's the first part for your new customer outreach. Okay. This is going to be where we start just some basic conversations. You look at your warm contacts. Probably most of us have gone through some warm contacts here. So it's okay to start friending new people on Facebook. The strategy that I use is I go to the friends I have, then I click on their friends, and I just start to profile based on, as I'm clicking on my friends, who I think just from what they're putting on their Facebook page, who I would like to be friends with. I do take a little bit of time to do this because I don't want to be friends with everyone. I'm targeting people that I think fit the profile of they're ready to be healthy. They're looking for some information. In some cases, they may be struggling a little bit, but you have to decide what you're looking for in your circle of influence. Obviously, if there's curious prospects, okay, this speaks to people already focused on their wellness goals. I will just caution against don't target just doctors or chiropractors, okay? You can look for people who are just like us. You don't necessarily have to be a professional, but who are posting things about health and wellness. In some cases, you're going to stumble across people in different network or partnership marketing, right? And then you can choose if you want to reach out to them. That might make it interesting for you. Past conversations, you can reopen a relationship naturally. Here's the thing that we don't want to do. I've done it and people are ghosting me. In some cases, reaching out too quickly, not gaining micro trust and micro reconnecting, and just going for the close to talk to them about their health or their product. So I really start with a more general opener of, hey, how's it going? I don't say like, how's your colon health? And are you pooping? No, that is not healthy to people I'm reconnecting with. And that's just silly. So I've kind of learned that the hard way because I'm so excited about this, right? Oh, and the same thing is about product interest, right? You can invite them to learn through a simple resource, but get that conversation and that connection going. Because if you're not honest with yourself, which I haven't been, they feel well, I felt like you were just contacting me because you wanted to sell me something or share something with me or enroll me in your business. And you know what? Energetically, they were correct. So set your intention first and pray for them as people first, and then word your outreach. Second area, well, Susan, Barb, did y'all want to add anything back on this? The new customer outreach piece?
No.
No, that was good. That was
Okay.
fantastic.
Y'all may want to
Thank
add this. Okay, here's the second time blocking. And when I say time blocking, for me, it's first thing in the morning. It's usually pretty early. I'm on mountain time, so I do have people in East Coast time. So that works so well for me. Just adapt to whatever zone you're in. But it is important to block even just 20 minutes because you can get from A to B. And it's so fulfilling to get a task done. So 20 minutes might be the increments in which you time block, or you could do a power hour. You get that phone out of the room. Nothing is going to distract you. You're very focused. And Buffy did talk about creative diversions yesterday. She had a second word. It was creative. So you tell yourself, or productive. That was it. Productive. I have got to fold those clothes right now. Those two dishes in the sink must be put away, else I cannot function. We do this kind of games with ourselves constantly. So that's off the table too. The laundry, the dishes, the cleaning the bathroom, the answering emails, that can wait while we're time blocking. So the second category to time block for is online or three-way invites. Okay. So looking at that online invite column, this refers in terms of product information. You could send some information to someone. You can invite them to one of our pre-recorded videos or to join us for a actual Zoom presentation. The beautiful piece we have now is it can be a bit overwhelming if you don't have this straight in your brain. The Partner Co Share app is an amazing tool for either sending product info, like it's labeled as a sales marketing page or a media piece. You could send that to someone. You could send them the pre-recorded videos that are already in there, depending upon the demographics or the person that you're trying to connect with. We have plenty of choices right now, and we even have our Susans in there. We have our next gen people. So see about that. Also, get permission though before you just send somebody the resources. Very, very important. Great phrase we learned in the Millionaire Mentorship from week one was, would it be okay if dot, dot, dot? Get their permission, because then you're going to get their buy-in, they're going to be more receptive, and they might actually look at it. Then get them a time that which you will follow up with them to see how they liked it or if they have any questions, okay? Under the three-way invites, borrow belief, okay? Connect them with someone who can bring experience. Okay, so this gets into trusting your upline or your sideline. A lot of us have different experiences. Susan and I have been here over 2 years. Barb, I think you're coming up on your 2 years. A number of us have had experiences in different adventures, right? So we have different beliefs. I would dare say we have some expanded beliefs because we've witnessed so much on Super Saturdays, in person, on these calls, in trainings. You cannot tell us these products do not work. We have it in our metabolism, our DNA, our health. We're getting off of meds. Can't promise that, but we have belief like nobody's business. A lot of you guys do on the call, okay? If you don't have that, that's why we're here, and we can add credibility. We can add credibility without throwing up on people. We want to read the room. We want to find out what people need. And then, and only then, are we going to get curious and ask more questions and share some information. And then we can help simplify the next steps and guide people, support them, and get them ready to decide. Susan, Barb, anything I want to add on this?
I did. I want to add one more thing. Sometimes early on, years ago, I actually would do incentivize, rewards for myself to do the hard things. And what I did do is, okay, Barb, if you make those 5 calls, you get to do blah, 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 whatever it is, exercise or I don't, or even if you exercise, you get to do this, right? You get to read from the Bible, whatever it is. I don't know. So reward system works very well in my brain and in my discipline. So that's what I'm going to start with Monday morning, Barbara. 10 minutes, 20 minutes of calling, and then you get to clean the house. That sort of thing.
Oh, I love
That
that.
sounds like kill me now though. Don't clean the house. I get to clean the house. That's totally
No. Wait a minute, because Susan, I was going to call her that. Stephanie said, like Buffy said, sometimes those dishes sit in this, are gnawing in your brain,
so
right?
Gotcha.
So
You're
it's
right.
diversion, right? Avoidance, right? So it's like, okay, I see that, but I am going to make these calls. So it's kind of like an energetic exchange. I'm going to make these calls, and then I'm going to do those dishes.
Great. That makes it hit home.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
I was like, okay, now I know what Buffy's
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, everybody just think. I'm just writing down. If this makes sense to you, I'm thinking right now about what my reward is going to be after that 20-minute time blocking. So right now, whether you have your memo pad or something, because we're not just talking at you and with you, we want you to take something away from this. So I'm going to put jump on rebounder
Okay.
or actually do the dishes because I'm into feng shui and energy movement and not having clutter. So find something that's going to motivate you. Okay, so here is the third time block. It's follow up. Oh my God, I could totally suck at this. Okay, so here's what I've learned from Danielle Parsons. She's #1 in the state of Colorado. She's been around about a year. She did have much experience with this and much training with other companies. But what she said she does is, and we've talked about this before, She goes into her stories, and if it's a story about products, she just starts scrolling down. She hits the three dots and she directly messages them in real time as she's looking at whoever viewed her stories to connect with them. She goes through all her stories at that point. That's so efficient and so easy. And so she's doing this through Facebook Instant Messenger. So then she's able to track and load everything into that, very easy to see what's going on in terms of in real time. She also did suggest that you know your time in terms of stories. Yes, we post at 9 and 3 and we boost. Okay, that's a different time zone. Now, some people are at work at 9, is what she shared with me, and they can't be getting on and interacting with you. In some cases, 7 a.m. for them is better, or 7:30, or lunchtime. So you may want to consider targeting stories or follow up with stories around lunchtime when we know people are on, because people cannot be on all day, every day, right? So you want to interact with them when you're able to respond and follow up and when they're on, okay? Follow up for me, what Barb just said, I'm gonna have to promise myself some big rewards for following up just because it's not my favorite thing to do, but I know it's the fortunes in the follow up. That's a beautiful little statement, right? So as best you can, pick the same, not the same day, we want to do this every day, but the same timeline actually would be better. Simple rhythm to follow up, forget that timeline, it doesn't work for me. Anything y'all want to add right here for block 3 follow up?
Nope.
Okay,
Awesome.
next.
Thanks. Great job.
Okay.
Great
Next
job.
block. Okay. New brand partner support. Oh my gosh. This really is easy for me to get distracted with. I'd rather be talking to my brand partners all day, every day, and doing Zooms for them and support and sending them magical documents because I'm the unicorn of the document retrieval. Okay, people. It's very important. We're not ER doctors. We cannot be responsive every moment. And that's not always best for our brand partners anyway, because we want them to develop their own tools to find the resources and redirect them. So, in terms of blocking, I'm not saying people cannot contact me at a certain time of day. I just need to tighten up and not be so responsive because I really allow that to distract me very quickly. Okay. And like the top of that column says, you want to help them duplicate their behavior. They can't be sitting by their phone responsive all day, every day for all their people. Okay. So, with regards to this, Barb or Susan, how do y'all feel about blocking for the new BP support beyond the orientation? That is key. Get them up, get them going, get them posting.
Yeah, I'm pretty available.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
Susan,
me too. I'm learning
okay.
from you,
It's
Steph.
it's our dopamine hit, so we're like firing it off. And so, but yeah, exactly. If this is your second, third, or fourth job, this is great because this creates balance. So maybe you even do a 20-minute time block, right? Like, once in the
Yeah.
early morning, once in later morning, once in early afternoon, once in the evening, or something like that. Maybe it's even 5 or 10 minutes, or or block that for your customer follow up or your whatever follow up. However that is working your business.
Yeah, and if Deputy Justice was here, she would say, Barb, she says, I just am not on my phone all the time. She's a busy person, very involved in her family, right? And her life is very, very busy. So she does that time blocking. If you want to have time blocking, someone to shares her knowledge. Whenever she has a break, like lunchtime, like you said, Stephanie, or in the evening, but she is not right there. She's not available because she can't. She's like a full-time job for her to be involved in her family. She's helping her daughter at the shop and she's doing this and doing that. So absolutely, this is a new skill set that I have to learn because I have always been for 2 years on point, on point, on point to my own detriment. Is that the word I want to use? To my own, Achilles heel, that sort of thing, because then people get, used to that and expectant of that. And I'm not teaching them to, here's where the resources are.
That's right. And luckily we cross line train here. We have great resources in Team Unstoppable. So many of
Mm,
you guys are great friends. And if you're not great friends, start picking out some people that you like to hear speak on the IPA, or you like their content or whatever, and friend them. Like they're a resource, especially when you see they do it full time, or just, they have things that you like or whatever. If you're one of those people that need the answer now, realize your upline is not the holy grail. What rises and falls is them.
Yeah.
You need to be resourceful, because that is not fair to your upline.
And what I have actually experienced in the teams that I'm involved with is someone that maybe even I enrolled, if I'm not readily available, but they're part of a bigger team, they actually put the question in that team chat. And you wouldn't believe how many people are just answering that as if
Yeah.
I was there.
You
So
guys are so helpful. I think
it's
this is
very
like the
amazing.
most amazing
Yeah,
team ever.
to be that
Everybody
supportive.
helps each other. And I've heard so many of y'all say that over and over, like Debbie Hawkins talking about Steph,
Yeah.
whenever she first got in this business, and, Shannon talking about different people. So, everybody's resourceful.
Yeah, and it's a
But
good
time
idea.
blocking's a great idea around that.
And it's a great idea too. So let's see, like I've told people on my team, look, if you're texting me because in the moment someone's hot and they need information, or you need a three-way or this or that, if I'm not responding to the text, then call me. I will pick up if you call me, because sometimes there is, man, you want to capture that person when they're all into it. It's very exciting. Talk about dopamine hits, right? So, of course, if I'm available, I want to jump on that and be there in that moment. So, have a system with your team. It could be an emoji. Again, the assumption is, and also know, like, I'm really more responsive on instant messages. Some of you guys are great in Facebook. You live there. But for me, 2 days later, I'm like, yikes. So have a backup plan if you really need to get somebody for a three-way or a Zoom presentation because the person's excited and ready to go. So have that
Absolutely.
backup.
And Steph, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like, you do a great job. Like, there's a lot of people on here that only have one brand partner, or they're trying to get a brand partner. Do you
Yeah.
want to talk to them a little bit about the way that we can support them, and the conversion, and kind of acting whenever people are excited? I know a lot of your team this week, they were reaching out at different points when you were unavailable to get me on three-way calls. So I watched your team do this. And you guys, if you're not showing the business to people, your business is going to be way, way slower than if you're showing the business. You got to show them and tell them something. So you want it's what maybe like making people a little nervous or scared. Like, how are you training people to do this stuff?
Well,
Side note. But this
at
is
the
important. This is
at
important.
the risk, you guys, of acting like a know-it-all. And it's interesting because some on our team here has shared with me this week that because most of us, right, are type A, we're excited, we've had success in other areas of life. We're like, I can do it. I have the marketing piece. I don't need to ask for help. Look, ladies, we are asking for help because, to Susan's point, there's the law of familiarity, and we say it over and over again. People will discount us because they know us, but you throw some random stranger on there like us, somebody in your upline or sideline, they're going to listen differently. We have the belief, we have the confidence, we know what not to say. And then it's important to reach out from the beginning. As amazing as everybody is and autonomous and brilliant, reach out to us out of the gate. We will attempt to show them because visuals are so key. The auditory piece, it gets jumbled in the brain. You look at a picture of somebody's before and afters, or a picture of a great product, that's going to register in the brain. We want the ability and opportunity to show them at least a few parts of the presentation. And then the other piece is just sit back and learn. We're going to do the heavy lifting. If we get on that three-way, we're going to close them. We're going to move them forward to the next step. That is our job. It takes the pressure off of you. You just got to get them in front of us, and then we get fired up to close it for you and put money in your pocket. That really lights us up. Us up. That's super exciting. I love when people call me like, let's get them. Let's get them.
Yeah, and I think you guys too, when you put people on these three-way calls or the screen share, a lot of times don't ask them, will you get on a three-way call with my upline? That freaks them out.
Yeah.
You can just be talking to them and they want to know more, or it's time for them to get more product. Hey, are you interested in getting your product for free? Are you interested in saving some money or sharing this with anybody? And they're like, yeah, tell me about it. Don't tell them about it. Say, when do you have 10 minutes so I can show you? It's much easier to show you than tell you. And then have that third party on the phone. And don't feel like we're just going to go after them. Now, we love to close business because we love to make people money and change their life. However, the person that you're three-waying with, like they're gonna vet that person. They're gonna find out about their health challenges, their financial goals. Like we kind of walk them into it before, and kind of get a buy-in. Would it be okay if I show you like how we do it? Would you be interested in that? Yeah, sure. It'll take me 7 minutes to explain it. And then we're going to do it quickly. We're not going to keep your person on the phone for an hour. Like because when you're doing that, you're teaching people that this business takes a long time. And we want to teach them that it's fast, fast. So I want everybody on your time blocking, set goals for yourself. I want to get one person on a three-way call this week. I want to put 3 people. Let's set this time blocking. Everybody set a few personal goals for yourself for this week and shoot it to Amber May's giving me a heart. So shoot it to your upline. This is how many, this is okay, Susan, I want to get 2 people on a three-way call. And Amber May has literally been in the salon and she's talking to somebody and she like just puts me on FaceTime, like, okay, here, meet Susan. So you can do this. This does not need to be a full-time job, you guys. You can work this in. And what's so cool is you show them, look, we can do this from anywhere. We can do this anyhow. It don't have to be a perfect presentation. So that's my soapbox. Let's grow y'all's business this week and next week and the next week. Let's get some volume. Let's get some ranking up because we're all here to make an income as well.
And I'm going to go ahead and tag on to that because in the very beginning, when I was so drinking from the fire hose and hair on fire and talking to people and inviting people, I didn't know what I was doing, right? So all I did was have a conversation and then boom, FaceTime like Amber did or someone else. I mean, I always had Susan on speed dial, Susan Frank on speed dial. Todd is a 911 for a different conversation. I just utilized that card last week and he came right on. He called me, boom, 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 and we got it done. So yeah.
Just do it. Do it scared.
Yeah,
do
do
it
it
not
scared.
knowing what you're doing.
But the
You might
three-way
you
is
might
so
fumble a
key.
tiny bit, but we could even practice screen sharing. If that person has an Android, you need to go over in Facebook Messenger and create a three-way chat over there so that we can start the screen sharing there if you're not doing Zoom. If everybody has an iPhone, you can do it on a three-way text. So I just always say, oh, well, do you have an iPhone or an Android? Oh, I have an Android. Okay, cool. And I'll just go over there and say, look for a message in Messenger. We'll connect here. And we can practice doing that. And it's super cool, the technology piece. Like, I didn't know how to do any of this before Partner Co.
Neither did I.
I mean, I had no clue. So just do that, but be thinking about who needs more, you guys, because people need money. Gas is $4.29 a gallon for us to drive here to the beach, a 6-hour drive. So people don't think that they don't need it or they're too above this. That's not true. Shannon, what you got, babe?
Quick question. So when a person does have an Android and you move them over to Messenger, do you have to friend them first? They have to friend you before you can connect them on Messenger?
Yes. And since great question, Shannon. And since we're doing that, so since we build so much on Facebook, most of the time you are, but if you're not, definitely friend them. And I saw a note that Shannon said earlier when I said go make friends with whatever. You don't have to try to follow each other instead of friend each other because we don't want our whole algorithms to be face Partner Co people, in terms of that. And so I also meant just like energetically, right? Like be people's besties, like find you some resources who want to help. And the last and final thing, 2 things. Do not think you're a nuisance to call us and need our help. Like we freaking love this. This is what a lot of us do for full time, number one. And number two, don't worry that you're busy and you are not able to fill these people up with the training and all this time blocking to help support brand partners. You will find somewhere in your upline. We coach all the time on the IPA about tap rooting. So we're actually fine working 1 level, 3 levels, 7 levels. Heck, I've even done Zooms for 15 levels deep. You know what I mean? So just know that we're here for you.
So I
And
have
you
a
can do it.
question.
And you can do it. Yes.
Yes, based on your comment. So I get friend requests after I do my Telegram, my system of growth, and I get friend requests coming in. So, how do you handle that? Do you accept all those friends that are partner co, or should we say,
Just delete
thanks for the
it.
request, but let's just follow each other? Or
Yeah, that would be great.
okay.
Yeah, and so some of you guys, I maxed out my friends. I just started going and I've seen you pop back up. It's nothing like that. Steph, could you screen share, honey, on your Facebook? And I want to show everybody that piece where we can hide their posts. Anything Partner Co., I now hide it on my wall. So I'm not seeing any of y'all's stuff really. I want to show you guys this. Do this today. Go through and you're going to get new people in your feed. So yeah, go down to scroll down and let's see somebody's post on your wall. So we got, all right, this is okay. There's Barbara. So she would click on the three dots right beside, you see that? Click right there. And we're going to go to hide post.
Right here, guys. Hide post. Click
Hide
on those.
post. And so, because what it means is if she's seeing Barb, Barb's seeing her. And that's one less person. See, she's seeing Susan Frank. So I'll go through there and just hide all of these people. Let's see. And see, you can see Steph's wall right now has gotten full
Yep.
again of Partner Co people. So do
Yep.
this often. And if your downline's not here today, please shoot them a message of how to do this. Cindy Sickles. So see, we don't
Yep.
want all Partner Co people. We love each other, but not to that degree that we
Thank you.
want it to
Perfect.
hinder our business. Okay.
Perfect. Anything else while we're on Facebook?
I don't, but I tell you what, that Danielle, the way that she works Facebook that you mentioned in Utah, and I never do that. Show them on the stories what she's doing, Steph, like where you said that she's like
Oh,
stalking
yeah.
who's
Okay.
watching
Hold
it.
on. I'll show you. Okay. So basically, okay. So see the stories, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying just show them how to do it?
Yeah, show them what
Okay.
she's talking about.
Okay,
So
so
47 viewers. Yeah, click right there, Steph, and
but
show
let me,
them
I
what
was
she's
trying to turn off the
amazing.
volume.
It's
Oh, hold
always
on. Okay, so here's me yesterday. I did a live, right? Highly suggested you do a live at least each day, okay? Down here you can see I'm on my computer screen, so that's why it looks a little different. It may look exactly the same on the phone, but okay, so you can see and it stops at the top. I've got 5 new people that I need to touch today, at least look at,
Oh, I
right?
didn't know that was there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So they just updated this. Okay. And
Sweet.
so from the top down are the people that either have done hearts. Okay. This is important too, because in real time you can interact. Like this chick is not in our ecosystem. She's a human who has nothing to do with us. So I need to reach out to her. I mean, I know Barb, but
So everybody time block for this.
yeah. So
When
you
you're
go in.
posting or whatever, time block 5 minutes to do this.
Yeah, so Barb's online, man. I want to see if I can get something going. She's been on about an hour, so I got to get there quick or whatever. Okay. Well, Lori was active. Danielle said the blue dots mean they're active now. Maybe that's the green dots. But
I did
anyway, so I'm
hear that.
scrolling down and I can immediately see who's a customer, who's a friend, who's a partner, co-person. Okay, yeah, the green's active now. Okay, so I want to start this chick. Now, why
The blue dots are the newest ones that have seen you. So, like if you've been in and you've seen your people on there and then you go back in, those are the newest ones that have seen your post.
the
Okay.
5 new. Okay, got it.
Perfect. Okay.
So like
Thank
Heidi, I want to interact with because she is not part of Partner Code yet. She absolutely needs me and us. So I'm going to go in and respond because she's active now. So after we get off, I'm going to go in, see who's active. Then I'm also going to make some strategic decisions about all these other people, right?
Okay.
And-
Perfect. Okay, Amber, do you want to unmute, honey? Because I know you've been working with a social media person. You're all about these stories, these reels, everything like that. And then Kim Weber's got some. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Good to see you, sweetie. And then Kim can unmute. But anything you want to share, Amber? Just like a couple little tips or anything?
As far as on stories and stuff?
Yeah, anything as you're seeing this, like, hey, I've started doing this and now it's
Well, I just know that like Core Cleanse is going. All my sample packs of Core Cleanse are going. Like just because I'm talking about it a lot, but I'm also putting it in my stories.
okay.
because it has to do with scalp health too, so that kind of has to do with something. So find a niche maybe on that, but just making sure to post every day a few times on your story, both lifestyle and what you're doing, because you don't want to be salesy the whole time, all the time. You definitely want to post your products in between there, though, so that you don't look silent. Like, where'd they go? Is she still selling that? Is she still doing that? Like,
Okay.
still be showing what, not necessarily pictures of products, but like, talking, taking our drops. Even if you go back into what I've been doing lately, because I am revamping my site, is going into some of my old reels and just reposting them to my story, and they transfer over to Facebook and Instagram, but like reusing your old reels is okay. So going on to your Instagram, going down to your grid and going in there and then sharing it to your story again, even if you just did it last week, but maybe it's you taking the drops and you didn't take another video of that this week. You still need to post yourself doing that, right? So
Okay.
if you don't have the time to do it and it's real quick, you can just go into archive stuff, or you can go into your stories, which is great, and go to your archives in your stories, and you can pull anything that you already had on there. So like if there was something that you loved the graphics on 5 weeks ago, you could, or if you're like, I don't know what I want to post today, or, you just go in there, scroll real quick and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll put that back on there and pop it on there, erase the date, and then it'll show again for another story." Like it just makes content creation easy if you use what you have in your back office, if you're in a hurry. Otherwise, take some time and make some new content and batch it or something, but like use what you have already. Don't make it hard on yourself. Don't go like, "Oh God, what am I going to do today?" Go back and pull something old. Not everybody's seen what you've posted, and people need to see it multiple times to resonate anyway.
Amber, walk me through how to get to my archives right now. So I'm on my page. What do I hit? Dashboard?
Are you in? Go to Instagram.
Oh, well, that's not going to work well because I work out of Facebook. So let me just see. I
Oh, okay.
know. Okay.
I'm just easier savvy with that one. Let me check archives
Okay.
on Facebook. Hold on, I'll
If
look
you
here.
go
While you're
to,
doing that, Kim Weber, what you got, babe?
Um, Instead of hiding a post, you could snooze the person for 30 days. I don't know what the difference is between hiding a post versus snoozing a brand partner for 30
Okay.
days.
Yeah, we should ask chat. I'm not sure either. And then Rachel, what tip do you have, babe?
Hiding a post is going to keep them off longer. Snoozing it's only going to snooze it. It's going to ask you 30 days, 90 days, or until you want it to again.
it's also good, you guys, to go into the dashboard and see your views at a glance. You can see like what has really done well.
Oh, so where did you go for this, Steph? So can we reshare what you're showing?
Yeah, you just go to your dashboard right here, this blue thing. So go to your home page and click on dashboard. This is for Facebook, people who navigate Facebook, okay? Then I just went to, you have the word content here, but content's loading in. You can see what performed well. And then, okay, so you get the visual, but I want to see all of my content and how many views I got. So I'm just scrolling down this views column. And
Okay.
clearly, if something traumatic happens or whatever, I'm not all about taking sad sap events and using them. But if you authentically want to post about some crap that's going down in your life, it's okay to put it online. Just think about how you want to frame it. So this was the ER. Duh. I knew people are caring and loving and concerning and reached out. So yeah, that got a lot of views. Then just some other stuff leading up. But it's great because you can look at, and this is all stories. This stories is a different beast from posts. It's a different beast from reels. It's a different beast from lives. All of that has a kind of a different algorithm and way of interacting. This is simply stories, which are fun. You just post your lifestyle. I don't know what I was talking about here, but I got almost 1,000 versus 33. That wasn't great. Whatever. But at least go into your dashboard and kind of get a sense of what you're putting out there and how
Yeah,
it's
that's
landing.
great.
Yeah.
So, what I was going to share about stories actually follows what Amber May and Steph just talked about. So,
Okay, go on.
when you go to manage your posts, you can see all of like a really quick like insight, like you just showed us stuff
Okay.
on numbers of like how many views your post had yesterday and which post did well, and which stories did well. So you can that is really good analytical information. So whether you're on your computer or if you're on your phone, just when you go to manage post, like if you have a scheduled post, so my posts are scheduled out. Somebody helps me with my social media. And I go in there to look to see what she's doing for the next day. So that's why I'm going there, but then I'm also reviewing the analytics, right? But what I found to get my stories more views, this is what I found to do. You post late at night, like,
Mm.
well, one, you let your stories lapse, like you let it go blank for a little bit. It's okay when you don't have a story on there. It actually resets your algorithm, and Facebook, when you come back, Facebook thinks you're more important. So it is good to take a break from stories. And then when
Okay.
you take a break, your very first story should be posted at night because you'll get night viewers and early morning viewers. So you get double the viewers.
Okay.
And then you also want that first picture to be like a really like striking picture of you. I always post me and the baby or something like that like gets the views right up because it's the very first one that pops up on their little scroll across. So if the picture is like a striking picture like of yourself or of your kids or something that you like your lifestyle, then you want to tell a story. So you do a series, right? But you only want to do like 3 or 4. You don't want to do 20. And then later on in the day, you can do another group of 4. And you definitely want to put product like the core cleanse information in there because that's where you sell. You can definitely sell in your stories. And then you add a poll. You can add some interaction. Facebook loves interaction. But just grouping those stories together in like 4 or 5 pictures each in clusters will help your views.
Okay, perfect.
So what Rachel's talking about is like, so for instance, like these little slices of information so that they keep going through, like say like you would be like, I cannot believe this. I came downstairs at 5 a.m. and I found this. And then the story stops there. So you've hooked them. So do that first one as kind of a hook visually or with whatever the wording is. And then you say, I was half awake. I couldn't wrap my brain around this. This was very confusing to me. Boom. Then we go to the third slice of whatever. But I mean, know what you're doing. Don't just try, think this through. But you're basically putting like 3 or 4 different stories out there to keep them going, their finger moving on stories. So, okay.
Emily, you've got your new customer there. Hi. Did you
She's
get
a
her
new
on Grok?
brand partner.
Yay! Did you get on
So
Grok
brand new,
today?
y'all.
Okay, welcome. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah. Thank you for all support and helping.
Awesome. Nobody's as important as the brand new brand partner. So
That's
we're so
right.
happy you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're doing more onboarding this morning. It was better to do in person. So
Oh, yay.
we're
Awesome.
squeezing it in before she goes to work.
Okay, love it. Love
Yay.
it. And sorry we didn't honor our 30-minute time. We kind of got off that, but I think all this was so, so valuable. Steph, you're an incredible trainer. You're an incredible leader. I mean, you just whip it together, girl. You are incredible. While she's kind of in crisis, you guys. So that just goes to show like what we can still do and pull this community together. And you guys are going to be fine. I just know y'all are going to be fine, 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 fine. And I want to tell you guys a quick story that happened last night. And speaking of stories and what we get the most views, I put a before. So my little boy is 10. He's had a lot of health complications over the years. We've done food intervention since he was 16 months old, when the first diet I ever tried was Eat Right for the blood type. So this has been a whole world, a lifetime of this. So fast forward, we go into Halloween, then we go into Thanksgiving, then we go into Christmas, 10 Christmases, then we go into New Year's, then it's his birthday. And this child the only thing I kept avoiding was gluten. He just kept eating and getting inflamed, and his mood and everything was terrible. So rewind maybe 4 weeks ago, he went off of gluten, dairy, sugar, and food coloring. That's basically what we are all off of, eating the foods list here. And so he's done excellent. I went to see my mom. I don't even know why I'm feeling led to talk about, but I'm talking about boundaries and when we're out and how you can feel pressured to eat different foods, for example, when you have your own goals. So I show up at my mom's house, who we see very rarely, for Mother's Day. She's like, have you seen this article I'm about to send you? It's 13 types of cheese that are the lowest or no lactose. And I said, well, Mom, that's great, but it's really the casein that, do they have casein? She's like, well, I don't know about that. So she's wanting him to eat this cheese. And so there you go. So look at his results, you guys. Is this not mind blowing? The inflammation, and he feels so much better. And he said, Grandma, I really don't need to eat it. Like, I'm really feeling better. So we did great with that. Like, we just kept going. And so we're at the beach trip. There's 21 people here at the beach for Kevin's family. And last night they were all going to get ice cream. And the whole time, and Barb and Randy's out there with us. And the whole time coming to this beach trip, he keeps talking about the food he's about to eat. And my husband, thank gosh, my husband's finally on board. And he's like, I don't know what would make it any different. So tell him what you experienced when he came up wanting this ice cream, because it was hard. And I'm just telling you guys, sometimes this can be hard, but it is worth it in the moment. And then Barb can tell you kind of what happened after. And maybe if you have kids or people with kids of your customers, maybe we need to support them a little bit more, is also what I'm hearing.
When that urge to want to be part of a community, your family, right? Everyone's going to get ice cream. And then when you made a contract, a promise, a discipline decision to abstain from all of that, because guess what? I was sitting there next to Colt listening to him. And it's the first time that I heard him without underwater, nose plugged, nasal mucus, drowning in boogers, right? The poor young lad was really having a difficult time in the past. And I said, Colt, wow, you are articulating. You're not, filled with all this mucus blocking. And he's just been a lovely young man. But then that urge to want to be part of the family, but also break his contract and his discipline decision to want that ice cream, because that's what actually is creating the mucus, is the dairy. And he had a meltdown. He absolutely had a meltdown. So beautiful. Susan, just absolutely beautiful. I love you, but no. I love you, but not, we didn't agree on that. I love you, but that was your decision to make, was not to have that, because your health, you feel so much better. So that's kind of that love language that I want to teach with my customers and educate with for my customers. But you did an amazing job, Susan. And I said, way to go, Mama. Way to go to love your son to wellness and to be the teacher for him.
And it was hard, you guys.
It
Like,
was.
hard.
I could tell. She was nearly
he said,
tears.
this is why we never talk anymore.
I know.
This is why we're not as close.
He didn't say I hate you, but
He did tell me when we laid in the bed, he said, I really wanted to say, I said, that you hated me. He's like, how did you know? I said, because I could feel it. I said, buddy, you can't take that one back. I said, don't do it. But then he got there with Barb, and he was just so kind and sweet. So if you're struggling with your own mood,
yeah.
If you're struggling with your child's moods, I'm telling you guys, it is so fueled by the wrong
Sugar,
foods.
dairy.
And my son today,
Mhm.
my husband today was like, it's basically chemical poisoning.
Yeah,
That's what
Yep.
it is. And this
Yep.
is a man who 2 years ago would roll his eyes. This is what this company has done too. He would roll his eyes at me and never have my back at his family events, kind of like, oh, he can have it. And I said, what did you say? And he said, when I was standing at the golf cart with them, and I said, yeah, he said, don't even ask your mom. This is not even an option, Colt. And he's like, oh, I'll talk her into it, because of that lack of boundaries, you guys. So this is like, I'm just saying, the boundaries in your business, the boundaries in your relationship, it's a new learning. Like, it's all a new learning, but it's worth it to hear him, just say, like, I love Barb and Randy so much. Can I tell them how much I love them? It's honestly a difference. And now he's painting and he's reading these adult business books. Like, it's just the craziest thing. And to watch this transformation. And they say the biggest feeder of self-confidence, which is hard for like people like me and Steph, our consistency is low. Like if we just give ourselves an out to, okay, well, that's why she's so fun. She's game to do anything because she'll just change it up right there with me. But they say if you keep showing up for yourself, if you say, I'm going to do this, going back to the time blocking, do something small, do something you're actually going to do. Don't plan your whole day time block at the beginning. But if you show up for yourself, which I'm learning this every day, and you do what you promise yourself that you do, that is creating self confidence. I'm going to get 3 people on a 3-way call. I'm going to get 1 person on a 3-way call this week. Do that for yourself. Lisa Mayer, you look like a little angel.
So
I
we have
miss you.
we have a couple questions. Let's see, where was that? Just go ahead and unmute.
Let's see what Lisa was saying. Oh,
Yeah.
Can kids? Yes. My son was 7 at the time, and I'll tell you guys this. He had so much inflammation in his body because of chronic Lyme disease. He healed his body pain in a week and a half. Stayed going, stayed going, stayed going, just life changing. So I think it's great for kids. I would half dose the Slenderex, and I would a quarter dose the Accelerate because it can get them a little bit agitated. But they need that B12. It's very, yes, Lisa, and it starts with the grandmother. The grandmother can be the make or break it. Like my mom shoved aged cheese in my hand. Here, taste this. And then Colt's like, why are you about to eat a burger? Like, with a bun and stuff. And I was just like, because, you know what I mean? Because it was like, it was almost like we were just fighting. I was like, what is the deal with this? And to know, like, she didn't do the research, but for him to be like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. So it's hard, but we can do hard things. So every time you think, gosh, this is hard, give yourself that mantra. We can do hard things. We can do hard things. And I'm telling you, anybody, any kids or any people with behavioral, like mental stuff, anxiety, depression, outbursts, pain, it is food. Like food is a big offender.
Wow.
Maybe we should do a food class for kids.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, Emily, you're at home with a child with special needs.
I do. I have a 17-year-old who has autism and ADHD, and he's been on the drops for like basically since January. We tried to start him in December, and it was just got a little nuts. But
Oh yeah.
it definitely has helped with his moods and stuff. And then we kind of ran out of drops for him, and hasn't. All he's had is like the Accelerate, but I can tell a difference, like that he hasn't had the Slenderex too. And so we actually had an issue at school yesterday, unfortunately. And so that was like, oh man, I'm glad I just got an order of drops so I can get him back on that because I mean, I'm telling you, the combination of both has really made a difference for him. And also, too, a lot of these kids are very impulsive with their eating.
That's right.
And
Their
he
blood
is a
sugar.
yeah, and he's a carbaholic and sugar. And so like both my kids, I mean, I have a 9-year-old daughter too. And so we have really, really honed in on we aren't buying the processed foods. We're not doing all the sugar all the time. Like my daughter is a singer, and she and I both got this upper respiratory stuff in the last couple of weeks. But I'm always right before her performances, like a good 2 weeks before, I'm like, you are off dairy. You are off no sugar because the mucus.
So do
Like,
you notice a difference with the sugar too? Because I think that's what's happened this time. It's the sugar
yeah,
too. Because
totally.
we've done no dairy
Yeah,
before. And
yeah.
Kevin, my husband, like, I don't
Sugar's
really see a
huge.
difference. I don't really see a difference. He's like, maybe it's the sugar.
Yeah, it definitely the sugar, I feel like it weakens your immune system too. The thing that drives me crazy is that at church they always have like snacks and stuff out. Now they'll
So
have
good
like
at
the
church.
healthy side snacks, and then they'll have like the donuts and the cinnamon rolls and all that. And I can't always control if they sneak something. But for me, I'm like, if I know that I'm cooking clean food and having clean food for them at home and they're getting 90% clean, for me, that's a win
That's
because
right.
you can't always control everything.
Well, and
But
you
I,
can't. You can't.
Right. And we homeschool, so I do have a little more control than like if they were at school or whatever like that. But just but I'm also teaching them, look what it's doing to your body and what are the long-term effects? Is it worth it? Because I'm about to turn 48 on Tuesday, and I am finally at a point where I actually feel better than I did 10 years ago before I got pregnant with my daughter because my inflammation is down. I have, well, it's not PCOS anymore, whatever it is, but I have that, perimenopause, like all these things going on in my body that I was having problems with a year ago that are now better because of the drops and because of changing my diet. And I don't want my kids to be like,
Well,
get into
Emily,
their older ages and go, oh gosh, I wish my mom, I would have
Well,
eaten
Emily,
better.
you just brought up a good point. What did she just say? As far as like, oh, you know what it's doing to your body. Let me tell you something. This is why the drops are so important for your child. You
Hmm.
guys, I had full-blown food addiction. Anybody that knows
Hmm.
me at a deep level, guys know that since I was like 10 years old, really probably since I was 4 years old, I have had food addiction. You
Hmm.
can tell me everything, just like I used to be a smoker. I'm an addictive type personality. I knew that it cost money. I knew it could give me cancer. I knew blah, 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 blah. That addiction just drives you. And that's the power that we have with these drops is to curb that, to give you not needing that strong dopamine. You're calming the cortisol. And Val, great question, but we can't publish what to do for kids because if that gets back to the
Hmm.
FTC, so just know the drops are incredible for kids. If they can swallow pills, the Venali is great because a lot of
Yeah,
times with
we take that.
autism they have high histamine, so anything that can lower their histamine. And another great product is Rejuvenex, which is great for energy and focus and actually that impulsive control if they can swallow pills. Limu is next level. Colt is drinking Limu night and day because that lowers histamine, but there's like 97 benefits of Limu. It's antifungal, anti-parasitic, antibacterial, et cetera, et cetera. And most children with autism, they're really fighting off pathogens. So it's really an infection, a viral load that they're struggling with that people don't really know that. So everybody Val, I know that she's a nurse practitioner, correct?
Yes.
So you already have that credibility. I would get those kids on Limu and the drops for sure. And if you can get them on Venali, um, Restorix, and Rejuvenex. Restorix, that detox binder, they're full of toxins. Like you better bet that they've got a lot of toxins. That's a lot of different products. So start small. And another thing that they're saying is really great for kids. I don't know how y'all feel about this is the core cleanse because it's restoring that gut biome because serotonin is made in the gut. So when Colt was little and after he was vaccine injured, he would flip upside down all the time, standing on his head. And he would slam his head, and the doctor would say what he's trying to do. He understands that the serotonin's made in the gut. He's really trying to stimulate his neurotransmitters, and he don't know that's why. So many things to learn. Dang, I'm sorry, guys. It's 12 o'clock. We love y'all to pieces. And yes, save the kids. Save the kids. We don't want them to be in the same situation, 45-year food addiction, like we're going through. So it's a real thing, you guys. It's like it calls to you like a drug. I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like before you found these products or just in general. Are you more on the edge of food addiction or can you kind of balance it? I'm just curious.
No.
Oh, that's Stephanie. I was
Yes,
like,
no. No, yes.
no,
It depends. Some days, yes, it's odd.
Cynthia,
Some days,
yes,
yes,
with
some
food
days, no.
addiction.
Yeah.
Mine, I didn't even realize. I actually had a sugar addiction, absolutely, but mine came through the liquid form of wine almost every
Mm.
day. Didn't realize because first I made the decision for Lent, right before I was introduced to the drops. Okay, I've got to stop something. And so I said, okay, I'm going to make a I didn't really correlate that the sugar in the wine was the contributing factor, but I stopped it. 2 weeks later, I found the drops, and that's kept me from I haven't had wine in the house in 2 years. And that was a daily thing. cook dinner. Not that I needed to get drunk or buzzed. It was a daily lifestyle. Let's just call it that. But it was my sugar addiction because after I had a glass of port with a bag of M&Ms, because I needed that sugar. I needed more sugar. So I'm telling you, these drops have really changed that whole lifestyle.
So go to everybody this week, and we're wrapping it up. Barb can pray us out.
Okay.
Go back to taking the drops as they were designed.
Yes.
Take the drops, set an alarm for 10 minutes, get them in at least 3 times a day, because I know we can get slack. We've noticed that people aren't taking drops like they once were. So get back on the drops like you were originally done. All right, pray us out, girlfriend.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all this amazing leadership, and not only about leadership, but community. You are the author of our lives, and this community is bringing us together to empower us with knowledge of how to really honor our walk with you, not only, but with our own bodies, so that food is not the addiction. We are addicted to serving others. We're addicted to loving you. We're addicted to building families and communities and being the disciplinarian for our children, to be very, very much conscious of that, so that we can say no to them that does not serve them. But these amazing products that you have led us to are really restoring our health. We're so grateful for all that you do. We love and adore you, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I pray that God will bless you abundantly as the days and weeks go into next week until we gather again. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you, guys. Thanks so much, Steph. Everybody have a beautiful Saturday. Go do some reach outs today. Get off this call and take action for 10 minutes.
Don't call me, Susan. I'm time blocking.
Me and you?
Yeah, me and you.
Okay. Kevin's like, hurry it up. Let's go.